Hello, I'm Erica from CEPrintedProducts.com and welcome back to Paper Clips. I'd like to thank Gail Doak from Web Mason for suggesting today's topic of envelope construction and how it affects automatic machine inserting. One of the most overlooked pieces of information when quoting an envelope job is how the envelope will be used. Envelopes are often produced for use in offices and accounting and other communications. These envelopes are typically hand inserted and stamped with postage. On the other hand, many envelopes are sent to mail houses where they are machine inserted with statements or other marketing materials and mailed in bulk. In fact, millions of envelopes are run through inserting equipment every day. If you know your client will machine insert their envelopes, ask them to share the envelope construction specifications from the equipment manual. Since each piece of equipment operates a little differently, having these specs will help you make sure your product will run smoothly on their specific machine. First, let me explain a little bit about how envelopes are opened and inserted on inserting equipment. When an envelope is fed through the machine, it is generally opened in one of three ways, either by blowers that force air under the flap to catch it and lift it open, or by a plow, which is a bar that runs between the envelope body and flap, or a combination of air and a plow. Once the flap is open, the pocket is expanded and held open either by air from more blowers or by a pair of metal fingers on each end of the envelope. After that, the materials are inserted into the open envelope pocket. So let's move on to identifying the parts of the envelope that affect insertion. We will start with the envelope flap. Manuals will often specify an acceptable size range for the flap. If the flap is too long or too short, the envelope may not open cleanly on the plow and cause the envelope to jam the machine. Next are the shoulders. The shoulder is the portion of the envelope where the seams meet the back panel. The angle and depth of the shoulder can affect how well the fingers open and hold onto the envelope while it is being inserted. Now for the throat. The throat of the envelope is the distance between the score of the flap and the top of the back panel. If it is too shallow or too deep, the material can catch during insertion and cause a jam. If your envelope has a window, we recommend you request what manufacturers call edge-tight gum on the window patch. This tells the manufacturer to make sure that the gum used to attach the window material to the envelope is applied as close as possible to the edge of the window patch. If it isn't, materials can catch on the excess window material and jam the machine. Lastly, there are a couple details that are not always critical to insertion, but that you should be aware of when quoting. One is whether they prefer diagonal or side seams. Usually both constructions can run on the same piece of equipment. However, your mail house may have a preference based on their experience with their equipment. Another is the flap gum. This is typically a matter of preference for each mail house, and some don't even have a preference and will work with whatever you provide. However, depending on your region and how you store your envelopes, there is a possibility that an envelope will tack shut before insertion. This means that a portion of the glue may activate and seal the flap closed, which will cause a jam on the machine. If you live in a humid climate, we recommend requesting split gum, which has small breaks in the gum line and has a reduced chance of tacking shut. Of course, these are all just general guidelines. The best way to ensure a successful insertion project is to share the technical specs of your or your mail house's equipment when quoting the project. Once again, Gail, we appreciate your suggestion and keep an eye out for a thank you gift coming your way. As always, thank you for watching Paper Clips, and remember, paper is a renewable resource, so keep on printing.